I'm back. It's Monday morning, and I'm sharing stories that I'm coming across. This one is about an Uber driver who decided to play an explicit podcast while some young 18-year-old girls were in the car. Let's just watch the story, and let me talk about it because I see how there's something wrong with this on both sides.
Woman says she experienced a young woman says she experienced a disturbing Uber ride following a tour of Georgia State. The 18-year-old says the ride was this past Monday, and the driver played graphic sexual material during it. Here's News Edge reporter Annie Mapp with a disturbing story.
That young woman says the Uber driver played a graphic sexual podcast during the ride. She claims the driver didn't bother to ask him if they were okay with it.
I heard some of the audio and I felt uncomfortable immediately.
An 18-year-old woman says she and her friends became worried when their Uber driver played a graphic, sexually explicit podcast last Monday.
The whole time I was thinking, why would he be listening to this with 3 girls in the car?
The 3 girls are 18 years old. One of them just turned 18 too.
Well, I'll tell you why, because it's his car. So once you commissioned him to work for you, then that was your responsibility. Well, I'm not going to say it was your responsibility, but you could have told him, hey, turn that off. I don't want to hear that. Or can you turn on some country music, or can you turn on Hot 97 or whatever? But you're paying somebody to ride for a ride, and you don't just sit back and just let them do what they want. You're paying them. So you don't want to hear, if you want silence, you need to tell the driver you want silence. And this is why people like Waymo and those automated driving services now, because a lot of people, they don't know how to talk to people, so they won't open their mouth and say something. They'll just sit back and like, oh shit.
Weeks ago, they started.
And I think a lot of people are looking for a good social media story, a good reason to snitch on people, so they don't say nothing. They don't confront people. They just pull their camera out now. And I think that's what happened here. Tell that motherfucker to turn that shit off.
Recording the ride out of concern. We're not playing the audio due to its graphic nature. However, people are heard describing sexual experiences in detail.
There was a woman on the podcast, moaning, making noises into the microphone, and the men in the podcast were asking her questions and egging it on.
The young women were in the car less than 15 minutes. They claim the driver loudly played the sex podcast the entire ride. The mother of one of the ladies posted concerns about the incident on social media and filed a report with Atlanta police.
You didn't know how old these girls were, and you assumed that it was okay to allow this to play. And
he assumed it was okay. I don't know if he assumed anything. All you got to do is tell him to turn that shit off, man. They're like, listen, I don't want to hear that, bro. I'm not into that podcast, whatever you listen to, bro. Turn it off while I'm in the car with you, and then you can leave a review on that. But people, they want to snitch on you so bad you can't do anything in public no more. And I don't condone this shit. I used to drive Uber in Atlanta, and I would never play nothing like this while I'll be driving. I used to put on nice, easy listening stuff, music that everybody could enjoy. I would never play rap or anything. I would never do that when I used to drive to make extra money. So I'm not agreeing with the driver, but at the same time, when you're paying somebody for a service, you tell them what you want. You don't go to the barbershop or the hair salon and just let them do what they want with your hair. You tell them, listen, this is how I want my shit. And if you can't do it, then I'll go somewhere else. And you know what I'm saying? I'll get out the car. So, but it's a culture right now where people would rather, they call it social media, but you're not social. If you were social, you would have just told the driver, listen, I don't want to hear that shit. But they want to go to social media. They call it social media, but people ain't social no more. Y'all fake social. Y'all just want to tell on somebody, or y'all want to use somebody to get a moment so that y'all could. I don't like the climate right now. And now her mom is on there. You didn't know how old she was. Tell the driver, complain to the driver. Why are you complaining to the news? Complain to Uber. People just want their moment in fame, and they want to out people now, and it's fucking disgusting to me, but I don't agree with the driver. I would never do that type of shit.
Giggle and laugh and even make eye contact at times. That creates a sense of insecurity.
Kara Phillip.
Insecurity and all. Just tell the motherfucker to turn the shit off. people just so quick to pull out their phones now. It's disgusting. You got to be a model citizen in every way because people just want to expose you. They won't tell you, I got a problem with you, I don't like what you're doing. They just want to pull out their phone and secretly record you now.
Phillips is an attorney that represents victims of violent crimes. She says while the case is disturbing, it's unlikely the driver will face criminal charges.
Without any touching and without anything that meets the statute. Yeah, this driver gets away with doing this every single day as long as Uber gives him the access.
Attorney Phillips says if one of the students was a minor, it'd be a different story.
There would be some criminal statutes that we would be able to look at this falling into under those circumstances.
I reached out to Uber for a statement. They say they reviewed what happened and took appropriate action against the driver. However, they didn't clarify what that action consisted of. Reporting in Atlanta, Annie Mapp, Fox 5 News.
All right, Annie, thanks so much.
Yeah, he probably got his account terminated or suspended. I would assume that that's what happened to him. His account got terminated. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say that isn't crazy, because that is crazy. But some people are really just, I don't know. Some people don't get it. And some people, he was just listening to his podcast in his car. I could see how, if you're a fucking idiot, you may just think there's no problem with that. Or maybe sometimes that podcast may have caused good conversations with other adults who weren't so insecure about, those type of topics. But yeah, I get how they're upset about it. But all you got to do is say something. All you got to do is tell the driver, turn that shit off. You know what I mean? You just don't do that. You don't go to a restaurant, or you don't go somewhere you're buying something and they give you something you don't want, and you just pull out a camera and be like, oh shit, they're giving me a cheeseburger instead of a chicken sandwich. Like, you tell them, like, yo, I ordered a chicken sandwich. So, I'm just tired of this fucking snitching culture. It's like, you snitching, it's like, just tell them that you don't like this, or call a Waymo. I know they don't got those Waymos in every city, but I see why people like using them, because they don't have to people don't talk. They don't know how to talk no more and open their mouth. So they're like, people are like fucking robots now, and they just, they just want to put you on social media and type, like, people ain't real no more. Like, I had a motherfucker send me some crazy text message yesterday, but a motherfucker never say that shit to me in my face though, but you'll send a little message and shit. Niggas love doing little sneaky little fucking recording people and little messages, but they don't open their mouth and shit and speak their mind when they with somebody. They don't tell nobody what it really is. But yeah, that's my video. That's what I thought about it.